So Philip has pulled up here, a screenshot of a Google search that he's done. And what we're actually seeing is a Google local service ad, which you might see referred to as a GLSA in any kind of writing that we might have about this. But yeah, Philip, could you kind of explain to us what we're seeing right there?
Yeah. So these are local service ads. So what they are is when someone types in anything like real estate agent near me, real estate agent in a specific city, these ads get pulled up. And obviously you can tell they're a lot different than, so these are your basic run-of-the-mill search ads, which is what a lot of people think of, right? And this, for the longest time, this is what you would see. But now with local service ads, they show these different profiles based on what you type in and based on the agents that are running these type of ads. Right.
So it's almost like a little like one of the key differences that I can kind of see there. It's like, you have like the little ad text, next to best agents in Miami, and then the Google service local ad, or the Google local service ad almost seems like hey, here is a list of people that kind of fit this criteria that you're looking for, versus like a website with IDX results on it. It's like almost like, because, that's actually a great point too, because when we talk about running ads, we always talk about running ads for, Brighton, Colorado real estate guy or something along those lines. But folks absolutely search for individual agents in this way.
Yeah, and I mean, we can get to this a little more in the future, but the quality too, right? Like when you're looking for an agent versus looking for, say, a home for sale, the quality is going to be much different. Quality is going to be a lot higher.
Absolutely. And then, so basically this is what we're looking at, guys. So, you've all seen like a normal like keyword ad, kind of what that returns, things along those lines. But a Google local service ad, is going to have this, kind of wonderful little badge icon there. We have business hours, name. Yeah, exactly. Thank you for clicking into that. Your Google reviews are connected to it. You have a lot of, services offered. That's absolutely fantastic. That's all, kind of part of the actual advertisement itself.
Yeah, and there's a lot more. Like this person only has 3, but if we clicked over and went to this person, they probably have more. So they have 4. I think you can get up to like 7 or 8. A lot of people, like you can do rentals. So yeah, this guy has even more. Foreclosures, luxury. So you can all select this. So if you want to focus on 1 or 2, obviously the more you select, the more leads are most likely going to come in. But really you can cater it towards what type of people you service.
Yeah, and it's really just kind of the idea that, this ad is targeting someone that is looking for, if they need a buyer's agent within a specific city, think about people that might be, Miami, I bet is a great market for this because we have a lot of people that are from out of Florida, out of the country in different locations, that don't have a local connection that still need to buy property might be doing that. So like if you're in a market like that, definitely consider that this could definitely be something, pretty effective. So
yeah, just to touch on that. So I was chatting with some of my clients before this phone call who run these ads, who've been running it for a few months now. And it's interesting, some markets, you do get more buyers than sellers, but then in other markets, you're getting a lot more sellers than buyers, which I know now with low inventory, everyone's kind of trying to get those sellers. And I talk with agents every single day and they're like, how can we get more sellers? And we're always kind of pointing to this as this can be a viable option for you. Because when someone types in Miami real estate agent or whatever city, it could be to buy, it could be to sell, right? So it's a great way, but either buy or sell, you're going to get a great quality lead out of it. So it's definitely worth checking out.
That's fantastic. So, say I'm an agent and I would like to, kind of dip my toe into a Google local service ad, try to, kind of get myself up there. What would I need to get started? Like, I know that Google My Business is part of this. Like, kind of what are the couple key pieces that we would need to, kind of begin?
Yeah. So technically, Google My Business, what it does, you don't need a Google My Business profile. So what it does is, so you need at least one review, right, in order for your ad to show up. And what it can do is, if you have a Google My Business profile, it'll pull those reviews in.
Oh, perfect.
So it'll automatically pull those in, so you can get started right away as long as you fill in the rest of the information. If you don't have one, what Google is going to ask you to do is they're going to give you a review link, and then you have to go get a past client to review you. So
I see. Okay. So you can't add these reviews manually yourself. They need to be added by a unique third party.
Right. Well, they give you a link. Right. Okay. So then you have to send those reviews, send that link to someone else to review you. And then once you at least get one, then you can go live on the profile.
Perfect. Yeah.
Assuming all the rest of the information is filled out.
And very easy to do that, by the way, using the EasyAgentPro CRM to send out little one-time blasts to everybody that might be in your book of business. So that would be an easy way to get started with that.
Yeah. And of course, we recommend strongly that you get a Google My Business profile, because so all the new reviews coming from your GMB profile will automatically get pulled into your local service ads.
Perfect.
Right. So whereas if you only used the local service ads review link, it's only going to get pulled into local service ads and not your Google My Business. So
great. So excuse me, pardon me. So that's a good place to start. Would be, so like Philip said, you don't necessarily need a Google My Business page, but you do need a review. However, we do recommend starting that. I'm assuming you would also need a Google Ads account.
Yeah, so they'll automatically create one for you if you don't have one.
Okay.
But it's actually a separate profile, but it will tie the billing into the pay-per-click ad, the Google Ads. And I think secretly that's probably Google's way of being like, hey, why don't you start a pay-per-click campaign while you're at it?
Sure, yeah.
But yeah, it'll automatically create one for you.
Awesome. And we'll touch on billing in a couple questions here, but so basically, for triggering or seeing this type of ad, what is the keyword event, what is being searched that would serve this up to folks?
Yeah, so anything like real estate agent near me, listing agent, real estate agent city, anything really that Google is going to think they are looking specifically for a real estate agent. So if you typed in homes for sale or what's my home worth, that's not going to pull up these ads,
right?
Because it's not relevant, right?
Exactly.
So it's only going to be people Google knows is looking for an agent. Because that's going to serve
a specific area. And I think that idea of someone Googling real estate agent near me or real estate agent nearby, that's got to be a very, very common occurrence. When it comes to people firing off searches from their phones and things like that.
Yeah. And just to kind of touch on, this is kind of a question farther down, but how these are ranked. So one of the reasons, so if you type in real estate agent near me and you happen to be on the same address as this person, you're going to come up higher than someone who's in a town away, right? So
perfect.
So that's one of the things. Another thing is, how many reviews do you have? That's going to be a factor. Another factor is how quickly do you respond to people who are calling you through these ads? So if you're not answering your phone, or if you don't pick up, Google's going to start being like, okay, well, this is not a good experience for our users, so we're not going to rank this person as high.
Oh, okay.
And then another one is, if you ever so people have the ability to leave negative reviews. So if you get one of those, of course, that's not going to help.
Right.
And then, of course, the bidding. So with the bidding, it's either you can let Google do it for you, so you can just do automation, or you can do manual bidding. And with these, it's not pay per click, it's pay per lead. So
you're billed per lead that
exactly.
you receive.
So that's a big difference between the pay-per-click campaigns that typically people use when they're doing these these search ads. So if I was to call Matthew here, and we had a good conversation looking for a home in Miami, he would get billed, say, $30.
Wow. Okay. Gotcha. So are you billed per, okay, so, billed per lead, I think that's a great distinction, between that and like a PPC type thing.
Absolutely.
I had a little bit of a question about Matthew in particular. So I noticed that, he's got, his business is marked as opened in 2021. He's only got one review. However, he's up here, kind of in the top 3. Has he probably just bid more for this placement?
So it could be a combination of things. It could be him bidding more. It could be that potentially other people are out of budget for that day.
I see.
Or for the week, actually. It's based on weekly budget. So it could be that. It could be Google's just kind of cycling it through because they're trying to make everyone happy and trying to get everyone like a little piece of the pie. But if I was to be in Miami and maybe it shows up differently for someone versus in Toronto.
Right, so, where you're searching from, right.
Yeah, so I mean, it could be a variety of those factors.
Very interesting. Okay, cool. So we actually answered one of the questions that I had was basically how you're billed, for one of these ads. So you're billed for, so say you received a phone call, but you didn't answer it. Would you still be billed for that lead?
No, you don't get billed for those leads, but you can actually call them back and you still won't get billed for it.
Interesting.
But as we discussed, not a good strategy because you'll eventually not get ranked high because you're not answering your phone.
Right. So this is really this type of advertisement is absolutely placing the onus of replying and interacting with that lead on the agent directly, which I think is great. So for example, go ahead and click into Matthew Perez Real Estate right there.
Sure.
Or any of those 3. And then we saw that there was like a lead capture form.
Yeah.
Have a lead capture form on the side. It looks like
one of them do right here.
Yes, exactly. So there is also a difference there apparently between a phone call or a request.
Yeah, and what we're finding is most people are calling.
Right.
Which is good, right? Because you can build that rapport, and it's not like the back and forth. So you want someone on the phone. You want to try to close them or get an appointment or whatever as quickly as possible.
Right, exactly. So, and this is a great view right here of the, kind of Google screened, text that we saw on the front end as well. So what exactly does Google screened mean? And, how would somebody get that badge when running one of these ads?
Yeah, so Google Screen means you've been vetted by a third-party company that looks at, so you have to do a whole background check. And I actually haven't gone through that process because I'm not a real estate agent, but it's going to make you, like, you have to upload your real estate license, you have to have liability insurance. So there's all these different questions to verify that you are a legitimate real estate agent, you have the proper documentation, you have the insurance. So they feel confident that you are going to serve the client as best as possible. And you're not just someone who's just kind of posing as an agent and doesn't have any documentation. So that's kind of being screened. And what you do have to, so at the beginning when Google launched this, you didn't have to be screened to show the ads.
Okay.
But now you have to be screened. I think, so technically your ad could show up, but I believe it's 90 days and you need to get it screened or else it won't be active. So
yeah,
you want to do it right away.
Right. So you want, And I think, to me at least, like that badge, that check mark, is incredibly important to have on there. It's confidence in the client. If somebody is searching real estate agent in Miami real estate agent, like, they obviously don't have a referral. They're looking for somebody. So you absolutely want to have, that kind of information presented with you there.
Yeah. And if I scroll down, you'll see most people are screened.
Oh yeah.
Miami's obviously a big city, so there's a lot of agents, but these people are not screened.
Right, and so obviously the screened agents are shown first.
Yep. So they're at the bottom, so you definitely want to get that screen going. And
do you have to? Does that cost you money to get screened?
Nope. So it's just through a third party. I think it's Pinkerton, and no, it does not cost.
Awesome. Okay, cool. So that's kind of some of the mechanics of getting it done. I was wondering, at least, like, what types of leads, like, when you're kind of working this for folks, in your day-to-day, what types of leads are you seeing these agents getting? Is this like a pretty cost-effective way of, kind of spending your Google dollar?
Yeah. So I talked to some clients earlier today, and I was trying to get a gauge of quality and cost per lead, and the cost per lead in those areas that these clients were in. So one's in Texas, one's in Michigan, one's in Ohio. And it ranged from as low as $12 to $25.
Okay.
Of course, if you're in a more competitive market, it could go up 30, 50 or higher. But just, I mean, speaking with one of my clients in particular, she invested around $600 and she has a potential of $35,000 in closings from it.
That's amazing. And I think that is, that might, don't let that kind of like initial cost per lead scare you guys, because these are folks that will be calling you. Like, these are incredibly qualified people, reaching out, as compared to like, getting numbers and emails through like a typical lead capture form or something along those lines. That's absolutely fantastic to hear those numbers. Yeah.
And she, like, very good agent, has a lot of good reviews. So that's is only going to help her. Sure. But the potential is there, and that's what I'm trying to show you. And for this particular agent, she was getting more sellers and buyers in her market. Whereas two others I talked to, more buyers than sellers, but the buyers were highly motivated, really good quality leads that, maybe it's hard now because inventory's so low, but sure. Hopefully it shifts and they can find a home, get referral, repeat business, all that kind of stuff. So.
Fantastic. I think that, that is just such a cool result. I think it is a very, it does seem like it has like a couple more steps, than your typical, Google ad, which is exactly why it's great to have somebody like Philip available, and his company to kind of help set these up. But, kind of getting to that level and, kind of getting your Google screening done, getting some reviews in is definitely going to pay dividends, is what it sounds like to me.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So, do have like one kind of technical question. So like this has a lot of agents on this particular scene here. So we have a lot of agents that are bidding, in the Miami area. So, what happens when you run into that situation where multiple agents are bidding in the same areas? Does that make it, a much more complicated process to kind of get it done?
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't really make it any more complicated. What unfortunately it does is obviously going to lower the amount of leads everyone's going to get. Sure. And over time, it's just what it does. It's probably going to raise the cost.
Right. Yeah, get more expensive.
Because Google is in the money, or in the business of making money. So if there's demand there. So what I would say now is there's some markets where this is not even available yet because not enough people have signed up. So it's a really good place, and not a lot of people have heard about it. So it's a great product to start. Get in while it's still early, and get in while the cost per lead is probably lower, because I can only see it going higher. Yeah,
for sure. As people kind of discover this as an avenue, to kind of get their name out there, and again, a great alternative to those just very typical like. Homes for sale in Albuquerque, type, kind of searches that you're going after. I think this is a definitely a unique thing in a lot of ways.
Yeah. And I mean, with what a lot of our clients, we're running like multiple campaigns. So We'll run local services, we'll run that pay-per-click, targeting people still looking for buying, because there's just so much volume behind that. Even people looking for these type of keywords, but then we hit them with the search text-based ad too. So
fantastic. So that I think we're going to kind of pin it there and kind of wrap it up. This is a great intro to this. I do want to let you guys know that if you have any questions about these, definitely drop them in the comments on this post. You can tag Philip. So like if you type @Philip with one L, Philip Pasmo will come up. You can tag him. You can tag me. You can tag Josh Keaton. Would love to, kind of answer any questions you guys might have about it. And Philip, so if somebody, listening to this or watching this wanted to contact you to, kind of get something like this going and want, your assistance, is there like a website we can direct them to, something that we can share?
Yeah. You can share our website. So it's asteriskmarketing.co, which I could link somewhere. And kind of like we said, you can tag me too in the Facebook group. You can reach out to me, Facebook, my personal Facebook, send me a message. I'd be happy to help with any questions or assistance if you need it.
Wonderful. Yeah. Okay, great. So we will drop those links in both the description. If you're watching this on YouTube, it's going to be down below. And then if you're watching this on Facebook right now, it's going to be tagged as a comment beneath this as well. Philip, thank you so much for joining us today and introducing us to this idea. Yeah, really appreciate it. Next week, we're going to be talking a little bit more about Google Ads, guys. That's going to be, I believe the 23rd is next Tuesday. So join us again for that session. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out. Thank you so much for joining us today, guys, and take care.